You know, I love this place, don't you? I mean, on a quiet day here, you can actually hear the heartbeat of NASCAR beating. And on any race day, well, you feel the thrill of that heartbeat. You know, it's hard to believe all that's planned for this place in the future and all that's happened. Now, you and me, well, we're standing in the very friendly confines of one of the most exciting racing grounds on earth. The Lowe's Motor Speedway has a legendary history. And folks, I gotta tell you, this old boy is proud to be a small part of all that.
Lowe's Motor Speedway was built on a vast area of farmland. It would become a great stage for owner Bruton Smith's dream after 9 months of ambitious construction. The most serious problem stemmed not from the presence of so much heavy equipment, but from angry nests of insects.
We had 6 of the operators in the hospital at one time because of yellow jackets attacking them.
The crews also had to work around snowfalls each Wednesday in March. But after the delays, 35,000 spectators gathered to witness what Smith had dreamt of, the world's longest and perhaps most grueling stock car race, then known as the World 600. The day had dawned, June 19, 1960.
I believe it was about 101 degrees that day, and of course the asphalt hadn't had any time to cure at all, and the asphalt was soft. You could walk up on the turns and the heels of your shoe would dig into the asphalt. That's how soft it was.
Chicken wire screens protected grills and windshields. The cars and crews were prepared for an event unlike any they had raced before.
The green flag is waving.
A field of 60 cars started the race. It lasted 5.5 hours and became a race of attrition. The 3-day-old asphalt was deteriorating. With 50 laps left, Jack Smith led by 5 laps, but a chunk of pavement gouged his gas tank. His crew tried to plug the hole with rags, a bar of soap, and even a potato, with no luck. Joe Lee Johnson took the lead with 48 laps to go and held on to take the checkers and a purse of $27,150. The pure excitement and sense of anticipation born in this race, made possible by 2 years of ambitious planning and construction, has made Charlotte's Superspeedway the hub of NASCAR's universe. Today, crowds of 200,000 fill the Lowe's Motor Speedway for major events, and they arrive early to be entertained on a grand scale. The Speedway stages some of the most unbelievable shows on earth. Great shows and great racing run side by side. May features NASCAR's All-Star event, the Winston. And Memorial Day is always one of the most exciting racing days in the world, thanks to the Coca-Cola 600. The UAW GM Quality 500 in October is a pivotal event in the Winston Cup Points Championship. The track's winningest drivers are Darrell Waltrip and Bobby Allison, with 6 Winston Cup wins apiece. Greatness is born here. New legend Jeff Gordon drove to the first win of his Winston Cup career on the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Bobby Labonte and Buddy Baker did the same. And in the second World 600, David Pearson finished on 3 good wheels, leading by 2 laps for the first major win of his career. NASCAR stars provide the thrills of the tradition, and like most stars, they're brightest after dark. In May of 1992, this historic facility flipped the switch to become the country's first superspeedway to run night races. A race under the lights on the Lowe's Motor Speedway is truly one of racing's great spectacles.
You know, folks, it's a great feeling to look up there and see that checkered flag flying. The tough part for us drivers on this track is knowing who it's flying for. Now, there's just something about Lowe's Motor Speedway that delivers great finishes. You know, I won the 600-mile race here 5 times, and 3 of those times by a combined total of 1.5 seconds. But hey, I've dominated here too. Yep, One time I won by a whole 2 seconds. Here's a look at some of the very best finishes.
1980, final lap of the World 600. Darrell Waltrip himself in the green and white number 88. Benny Parsons in car 27. Parsons barely wins the sprint down the backstretch into turn 3 and hangs on to win by half a car length in a race that finished 6 hours after it started. Speedway president Humpy Wheeler calls it the best 600 of all time.
We were all tired because the race had lasted so long. Nobody could leave their seats. We're all glued to our seats looking at this thing because how many times at the end of a 600-mile or even a 500-mile race do you have two cars that close together?
In 1988, Waltrip in the orange number 17 was in the same position, this time with Rusty Wallace close behind. Darrell outdueled Wallace over the last 2 laps and beat him to the stripe by a car length for the 4th of his 5 wins in the 600.
It'll be Darrell Waltrip, the first man in history to win this event 4 times.
Every person here is standing and cheering for Darrell Waltrip, a guy that they all used to love to boot.
The cheers in October 1972 were for the classic struggle in the National 500. Bobby Allison and Buddy Baker traded the lead 5 times in the final 9 laps. Allison won by 2 car lengths. Since its premiere in 1985, no race anywhere on Earth has generated more high-drama finishes than the Winston, NASCAR's all-star race. Here in May 1987, at the beginning of the final 10-lap shootout, Jeff Bodine spins and crashes in turn 2, leaving Bill Elliott and Dale Earnhardt to battle it out. With 7 laps to go, Elliott taps Earnhardt, and the rest is history.
Earnhardt went down in the grass, and that was the famous pass in the grass, which actually wasn't a pass. Earnhardt didn't pass anybody down there. What made it unbelievable is the first time anybody's gone into the grass that fast. It's the world land speed record for grass. He had to be going 190 miles an hour and didn't lose the car and didn't back off. I don't think he could do this again. Unbelievable piece of driving.
Elliott would drive to the pits with a cut tire a couple of laps later, and Earnhardt would take the checkers and $200,000. The race was over, but the paint trading continued. The stage was set for future Winstons. That stage was illuminated for the first time on the night of the 1992 Winston, which boiled down to, again, the final lap of the 10-lap shootout.
It was the wildest last lap in the history of this place. Going into number 2, Earnhardt had the lead. Kyle Petty was second, and Davey Allison was third. Looked like Earnhardt was going to win the race. They go down the backstretch, and Kyle Petty makes his move down to the inside. Earnhardt tries to block him, and the next thing you know, that black number 3 of Earnhardt's was smashed right into the 4th turn wall. And Davey Allison was in 3rd place, and he pounced like a jaguar and went right down underneath Kyle Petty. The grandstand was crazy. Both cars went out of control right before they hit the start-finish line. Davey Allison won by about 5 inches. He ended up hard into the wall. Kyle Petty spun into the infield grass. And I think that 4 million people were at that race because everybody I see says they remembered that. And I don't remember, but about 115,000 people in there.
Brilliant finishes and great competition are just the beginning here.
You know, this is an exciting place year-round. I was going to show you a schedule, but everybody's so busy here. But they did leave Lugnut, the Speedway mascot in charge of delivering it. I heard he got tied up. You know, folks, that schedule is pretty long, but let me ask you something. Don't you think Lugnut's got a screw loose? Look, folks, in a nutshell, this is the hub of stock car racing. You can visit all the race team shops around Charlotte. You can stay at the new camping resort on the Speedway grounds. Why, heck, you could even live here.
Lowe's Motor Speedway feels like home to more than 500,000 race fans each year, and it's literally home to residents in the Turn 1 condominiums. In 1984, Speedway Motorsports broke new ground with the first condominium complex on a super speedway. Now more than 50 luxury units rise above Turn 1. Imagine this for a backyard view. From home, it's a short walk to school. Driving school. The Richard Petty driving experience and fast-track driving schools put you behind the wheel of a race car. Ask for more details at the Speedway gift shop. And after a fast day at the track, slow down for a world-class meal at the Speedway Club, located on the 6th floor of the Smith Tower. The restaurant is open for lunch and dinner. fine dining with the view of the front stretch. Race fans hungry for year-round entertainment get their fill at the Speedway. An annual rite of spring is the Food Lion Auto Fair. With thousands of show cars, collectibles, and vendors, it's by far the biggest car show in the Southeast. Weekly summer races featuring legends and Bandolero cars bring crowds to the short track on the front stretch. The World Karting Association calls Lowe's Motor Speedway home. So does the Carolinas Boxing Hall of Fame, based here on the second floor of the Smith Tower. The Speedway packs a meat punch for some of Hollywood's biggest stars. Major motion pictures are filmed here. Remember Days of Thunder?
There's nothing I can't do with a race car.
For years, the Performance Racing Network has been broadcasting from its Speedway radio studio to nearly 200 affiliates across the country. Lowe's Motor Speedway is proud to be the national headquarters of Speedway Children's Charities. What started as a small foundation now sponsors more than 40 fundraising events through chapters nationwide, raising more than $1 million a year to benefit children. Since 1960, the Speedway's mission has been to provide high-quality entertainment in a fan-friendly atmosphere. The track is one of the few sports venues in America where fans can still bring their own coolers, food, and drinks to their seats. Families can enjoy the events in alcohol-free grandstands and return to a clean, safe Speedway campground. And of course, if you ever have car trouble or just need a splash of gas and you're in a hurry, you're in the right place for quick, dependable service. Enjoy your laps around the mecca of motorsports. We're glad you're here. Don't miss the thrills available at all the Speedways owned and improved by Speedway Motorsports Incorporated.
Gentlemen, start your engines.